Claudio Ranieri's a great fit there.
Ranieri's got great experience with big clubs, but not a situation like this.
I don't believe they can. I think they are going to collapse still. History tells you that teams that do this fall away at the end.
They're 5,000 to 1 to win the title, and you know what? I don't even think I put $1 on that.
At the start of the 2015-16 season, Leicester City's odds to win the Premier League was 5,000 to 1, the same odds as Elvis being found alive or Bigfoot being proven real, in a league ruled by giants: Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal and City. There was no room for fairy tales. Yet in 2015, a team no one believed in tore up the script. No superstars, no billion-dollar backing, just a sacked manager, a non-league striker, and a squad of so-called misfits worth less than £30 million. This is not just the greatest underdog story in Premier League history, it's the greatest in all of sports. The 2014-15 season saw Leicester City return to the Premier League after a decade in lower divisions, but it wasn't a triumphant return. For most of that season, they languished at the bottom of the table. They were fighting for their lives. Leicester spent 140 days in the relegation zone. But in the final 9 games of the season, an incredible late surge under manager Nigel Pearson, Leicester City pulled off a great escape, winning 7 of them and finishing 14th.
And as far as Cambiasso, he's urged to shoot! Oh, that is fabulous! And Davis, superbly played! What a magnificent goal!
That miracle ensured their survival. Yet what followed next shocked everyone. Nigel Pearson, the man behind that survival, was sacked in June 2015.
We start with some breaking news in the last half hour. Leicester have sacked manager Nigel Pearson, with the club citing fundamental differences between the board and Pearson.
His replacement? A man the media mocked, a 63-year-old Italian named Claudio Ranieri, known for tinkering, not winning, a manager many in England had written off.
I think he's going to be the first manager to go, I just don't think it's the right fit, and I think he's going to struggle right from the start.
Ranieri had just been sacked by the Greece national team after a disastrous Euro 2016 qualifying campaign. His time at Chelsea was remembered more for chopping and changing the lineup, earning him the nickname the Tinkerman. Despite managing top clubs, Ranieri had rarely stayed long and rarely delivered silverware. He was often seen as a builder rather than a winner. Someone who could stabilise the team, but not take it to glory. In a time when Leicester needed a bold and modern leader to build on Pearson's foundations, Ranieri seemed like a step backwards. But what they didn't see was the perfect storm brewing.
Of course, my football is very close how they are used to play, because it's not possible to change too much.
Ranieri wasn't here to tinker, he was here to simplify. From day one, Ranieri emphasised unity, discipline and defensive organisation.
I want to change too much, but just to give the Italian tactical way.
He didn't promise revolution, he promised belief, and he brought in the right men to make it work. Leicester didn't go shopping in the luxury aisles of European football. They bought smart. They bought the hungry ones. In total, Leicester City's net spend in the 2015-16 season was around £37 million, modest by Premier League standards. They signed N'Golo Kante from Caen for just £5.6 million, an unknown French midfielder who would go on to dominate the league with his energy and ball-winning ability. They brought in Christian Fuchs on a free transfer from Schalke, a solid, experienced left-back who provided defensive steel. Robert Huth was signed permanently from Stoke City for around £3 million after impressing on loan. Shinji Okazaki, a hard-working Japanese forward, came in from Mainz for around £7 million. That same season, Manchester City spent big on Kevin De Bruyne for £55 million and Raheem Sterling for £49 million. Manchester United spent close to £140 million, bringing in Anthony Martial for up to £58 million, along with Memphis Depay and Morgan Schneiderlin. Chelsea, coming off a title win, added Pedro for £21 million in a league dominated by millions. Leicester's approach was simple: scout wisely, spend little, and build a team, not a brand. While the top clubs chased superstars, Leicester City were quietly assembling a band of misfits and unknowns, not for headlines, but for history. Ranieri didn't overcomplicate things.
Because I watched the matches and they are very solid when they play 3 on the back, and then we can change a 3 midfielder or 2 in midfielder with the 2 on the flank.
It was old school football with a modern twist, and it worked brilliantly. Leicester started strong, a 4-2 win over Sunderland on the opening day.
It is Morez. It is 3-0.
Followed by a 2-1 win at West Ham, Leicester's counter-attacking identity began to blossom. Mahrez opened the scoring with a deft finish, and Okazaki added a second. West Ham tried to rally, but Leicester's backline held firm. The Foxes showcased tactical maturity, managing the game with calm efficiency. 2 games, 2 wins. Confidence surged. Tottenham was Leicester's first real test. Dele Alli put Spurs ahead, but within seconds, Mahrez responded with a brilliant solo effort. Leicester showed they could go toe-to-toe with a top 6 side. Then Leicester needed Vardy's nerves of steel to earn a point. Wilson had put the Cherries ahead with a lovely finish.
And so too is Wilson! What about that?
And it took a late penalty from Vardy to level things.
Superbly done. Oh, he went down. It has to be a penalty. 1-1.
The resilience of the team was becoming a theme. An unbeaten month earned them 8 points from 4 games. Only Manchester City had a perfect record, 12 points, putting them just ahead of Leicester City. But for a team that had narrowly escaped relegation just months earlier, being second after the first month felt almost unreal. Trailing 2-0 at home with 20 minutes to go, Leicester looked dead and buried.
Antoine Lahore couldn't force it in, nor could Sanchez. It's come out to Grealish! Set it back for Hill! Oh, beauty! What a super goal!
But goals from Delay, Vardy and a dramatic winner by Nathan Dyer sent the King Power into delirium.
The Foxes chased Villa down, caught them up and went past them.
It was a game that encapsulated their never-say-die spirit. Yet again, Leicester found themselves 2-0 down in the first half. Boyan and Walters gave Stoke a strong start. But second half goals from Vardy and Mahrez earned another priceless point. Ranieri's side didn't panic. They adapted, adjusted, and fought back.
This is good, but now there is a very big match Saturday. It's a very good team, smart, fast, technical, everything. They are ready to fight for the title.
Only 2 teams remain unbeaten in the Barclays Premier League, and Leicester City are one of them.
On match day 7, Arsenal were ruthless, led by Alexis Sanchez's hat-trick.
Quite a barrier, but Jamie Vardy does score. Although there's a bit too much to do this time for a captivating comeback.
Though Vardy scored twice, Leicester's defensive vulnerabilities were exposed. It was their first defeat. It was a humbling moment, and a reminder that bigger tests were coming. At the end of September, Leicester dropped from 2nd to 8th, but they were still just 3 points off the top. Their fighting spirit was already clear, coming from behind 3 times in 4 matches. At this point, bookmakers still had Leicester at around 2,000 to 1 odds to win the Premier League. Yes, 2,000 to 1. To put that in context, Leicester was still expected to finish bottom half or possibly in a relegation battle. Clubs like Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea and Man United were seen as the only real contenders. Even after picking up 12 points from 7 games, the world saw Leicester's run as temporary. Exciting, yes, but unsustainable. Leicester kicked off the month in October with a 2-1 win against Norwich City. Vardy's penalty and Schlupp's winner secured all 3 points. Norwich pushed hard late on, but Leicester defended deep and intelligently. And once again down 2-0 to Southampton, but Leicester came roaring back. Vardy's double turned what looked like a loss into a valuable point. At this stage, they had come from behind to gain points in more games than any other team.
Vardy's through, Jamie Vardy surely equalises for Leicester City.
On October 24th, Leicester secured a 1-0 victory over Crystal Palace.
Vardy, 1-on-1 with the keeper, Jamie Vardy, and Leicester are a goal to the good against Crystal Palace, and Jamie Vardy scores for the 7th consecutive Premier League game. That's a top-flight record, but more importantly, Leicester City lead at the King Power Stadium.
On match day 11, Leicester went behind against West Brom, but responded with a vengeance.
Into a lovely area, 1-1. Jamie Vardy in the clear to score again. He was never in doubt.
Mahrez scored twice, and Vardy extended his goal streak to 8 games. It was an attacking masterclass, and the Foxes looked more dangerous than ever. By the end of October, Leicester City had climbed back into the top 5. Against Watford, Kante scored his only league goal of the season before Vardy made it 9 straight. Then, in a dominant 3-0 away win against Newcastle, Vardy equalled Ruud van Nistelrooy's record by scoring in his 10th consecutive Premier League match, and Leicester City moved to first, temporarily. And the table began to tilt in their favour before the break. On November 28th, under floodlights, the stage was set not just for a game against Manchester United, but for destiny. All eyes weren't just on Leicester. They were locked onto one man. For 10 straight matches, he defied belief, danced through defences and delivered goal after goal. And in the 24th minute, the moment arrived. Vardy found the net for the 11th Premier League match in a row, surpassing the previous record held by Ruud van Nistelrooy. It was a tight match, but the night belonged to Jamie Vardy. When the final whistle blew, the score read 1-1, but Leicester weren't mourning a draw. They were second in the table, but most still believed their rise would end soon, with December's tough fixture list looming. Even many pundits said top 4 would be a miracle. On the 5th of December, Mahrez dazzled with a hat-trick. Swansea had no answer for Leicester's speed and movement.
Mahrez, no flag. Mahrez, oh, wonderful.
No Vardy goal, but the team showed it wasn't a one-man story. It was a team of warriors. Next match against Chelsea, the defending champions were undone by Leicester's intensity. Mahrez and Vardy tore up Chelsea to win 2-1. Mourinho was sacked days later. Against Everton, Mahrez converted 2 penalties in a thrilling 3-2 win, and the Foxes entered Christmas Day top of the Premier League. On Boxing Day, a narrow defeat. Benteke scored the only goal for Liverpool. Leicester lacked their usual clinical edge, but it was only their second loss. A gritty, resilient 0-0 performance against Manchester City proved Leicester could defend as well. As a result, Leicester failed to hold on to their place at the top of the table, with Arsenal having defeated Bournemouth 2-0 the previous day. Climbing to first on goal difference, Riyad Mahrez had 13 goals and 7 assists by the end of the month, becoming the league's most dangerous playmaker. Vardy was the most lethal striker in England, and Kante was dominating midfield. Halfway through the campaign, they had outperformed Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham, Chelsea and Liverpool, all teams with squads far more expensive and experienced. From the final 9 games of the previous season, Leicester had now lost just 3 of their last 28 league matches. Despite all this, Leicester was still not favourites to win the title. Many believed Leicester's lack of squad depth would catch up with them in the second half of the season. Leicester City began 2016 with a frustrating 0-0 draw against Bournemouth, in a match where they were handed a crucial chance to score from the penalty spot, only for Riyad Mahrez's effort to be denied by Artur Boruc. The missed opportunity proved costly, as Arsenal's 1-0 victory over Newcastle the same weekend saw them pull 2 points ahead, pushing Leicester down from the top of the Premier League table. Leicester then made the trip to White Hart Lane, where Robert Huth rose to the occasion with a late header that sealed a hard-fought 1-0 win. The clean sheet marked another milestone, and with Arsenal stuttering, this victory propelled Leicester back to the top of the table. Leicester then dropped points in a frustrating Midlands derby. Shinji Okazaki opened the scoring with a well-taken goal.
And it would have been via goal line technology. Leicester City take the lead.
However, Mahrez missed his second penalty in 3 games, failing to double the lead. Villa, struggling at the bottom of the table, found belief and equalised through Rudy Gestate. Back at the King Power, Leicester rediscovered their attacking rhythm. Danny Drinkwater opened the scoring with a crisp, low strike from the edge of the box, his first goal of the season. Jamie Vardy ended his goal drought before Leonardo Ulloa tapped in a third to seal a comprehensive 3, took his tally to 16. The midfield trio of Mahrez, Drinkwater and Kante controlled the game, while the backline remained solid throughout. This win was not only 3 points, it reaffirmed Leicester's credentials. After the wobble against Villa, they responded with authority. With Arsenal drawing and City losing, Leicester moved 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League table. By the end of January, Leicester City's odds dropped to be around 5-1 or even as low as 3-1. Their defensive record improved significantly. Only 2 goals conceded in January, thanks to the solid partnership between Huth and Wes Morgan and the ever-reliable Kasper Schmeichel. But Arsenal and Manchester City were still slightly favoured due to their squads and experience. But Leicester were now viewed as genuine contenders. On the 2nd of February, Jamie Vardy lit up the King Power Stadium with a breathtaking 25-yard strike against Liverpool.
Excellent work. Mahrez, high ball over the top. Vardy is chasing it. Thinks about the shot first time. Oh, what a goal!
Later adding a second to seal a 2-0 win. The victory ensured Leicester kept hold of their position at the top of the Premier League table. Then came the biggest test yet, a clash at the Etihad with second-place City looming just 3 points behind. What followed was Leicester's most commanding performance of the season. Robert Huth scored within 3 minutes, setting the tone. Mahrez then scored a brilliant solo goal, weaving past defenders and finishing ruthlessly to double the lead.
Something of that, it's Mahrez! 2-0! Leicester City.
Huth struck again with another header to make it 3-0.
Huth is there again, and it's 3. Robert Huth. Leicester City are in dreamland here.
And though Aguero scored a late consolation, it was irrelevant. Leicester completely outplayed their title rivals on their own turf. Kante was everywhere, breaking up play, launching counters and bossing midfield. The outcome extended Leicester's lead at the top of the table to 5 points. On the 14th of February, Leicester went ahead at the Emirates with a first-half penalty from Jamie Vardy. But the momentum shifted after the break when Danny Simpson received a red card, reducing the Foxes to 10 men. Theo Walcott pulled Arsenal level, and in stoppage time, Danny Welbeck snatched the winner with virtually the final touch. It marked just Leicester's third loss of the season. Their lead at the top was cut to 2 points, with both Arsenal and Tottenham drawing level, though Spurs claimed second place due to a better goal difference. Coming off the Arsenal loss, Leicester held strong, grinding out a crucial win against Norwich thanks to a late goal from Leonardo Ulloa.
Gets his boys a low one. Vardy, it's in! It's Ulloa at the back post! And Leicester City finally make the breakthrough!
Leicester maintained their 2-point cushion at the top. Meanwhile, Arsenal slipped to third place following a 3-2 defeat against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Odds dropped from 5-1 at the end of January to as low as 2-1. For the first time all season, the world began to ask, what if they actually do it? By the end of February, Mahrez's goal against City was his 14th of the season, while Vardy had already snatched 17 goals, still leading the Golden Boot race. On the 1st of March, Leicester played out a 2-2 draw against West Brom. Salomon Rondon gave the visitors the lead, but an own goal from Jonas Olsson brought the Foxes level. Just before half-time, Andy King put Leicester in front.
Far post, back to Andy King. Yes, 2-1. Andy King on the stroke of half-time.
Only for Craig Gardner to fire an equaliser early in the second half. Leicester secured a 1-0 win on the 5th of March during their trip to Watford.
Mahrez, yes, he suddenly emerged onto the scene here.
Just over a week later, on the 14th of March, in Rafa Benitez's first game in charge, they edged past Newcastle United at home with the same scoreline.
Vardy, Okazaki! Spectacular goal! And the Leicester live wires are at it again!
Then, on the 19th of March, they repeated the result once more.
Away from Dan, this is Mahrez, that is 1-0 Leicester, Riyad Mahrez scores! What a wonderful goal for Leicester. All Brighton's ball across was pinpoint, and Mahrez turns it in, and Leicester lead at Selhurst Park.
Leicester kept 3 consecutive clean sheets in March, a sign of how their defence had become one of the best in the league. Only the 4th team in Premier League history to top the table for 100+ days in a single season. On the 3rd of April, Leicester continued their winning rhythm with a 1-0 home victory over Southampton. A week later, Jamie Vardy netted twice to secure a 2-0 triumph against Sunderland on the road.
Try and keep Vardy under control, and Vardy is past him. This will finish it. Jamie Vardy gets his second, and the impossible dream is getting closer to reality, and they know it.
Tottenham's 3-0 win over Manchester United the same day meant that Leicester officially sealed their place in the UEFA Champions League for the first time in their history. On the 17th of April, Jamie Vardy struck his 19th goal of the campaign against West Ham, before being shown a second yellow card and sent off in the second half. The Hammers capitalised, with Andy Carroll converting a penalty and Andy Cresswell adding another to turn the game around.
Cresswell! Oh! Brilliant for West Ham. Very tough on Leicester.
However, in stoppage time, Leonardo Ulloa stepped up to slot home a dramatic penalty and salvage a crucial point for Leicester, keeping them top of the league. A week later, on the 24th of April, the Foxes delivered a dominant 4-0 win over Swansea.
Oh, given away by Williams. Chance for Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez with the shot. He scores!
On the 1st of May at Old Trafford, Anthony Martial opened the scoring for Manchester United, but Wes Morgan quickly responded to bring Leicester level.
Morgan going in, and Wes Morgan heads it in. They're level.
Later in the match, Danny Drinkwater was shown a red card after picking up a second yellow. The match ended in a 1-1 draw. It meant Leicester couldn't clinch the title that day, but it brought them to 77 points. Now, their fate rested in Chelsea's hands. The decisive moment in the title race arrived on the 2nd of May 2016, when Chelsea hosted Tottenham Hotspur in a high-stakes London derby at Stamford Bridge. In what became known as the Battle of the Bridge, Tottenham blew a 2-0 lead as Chelsea roared back.
And he's out swinging toward Terry. It came for Cahill! Game on!
Hazard's sublime curler in the 83rd minute sealed the draw.
Old Alderweireld played it in for Hazard! A moment of brilliance!
The full-time whistle sparked jubilation across the world. The players, watching together at Vardy's house, erupted in tears and hugs. It was official.
Leicester are champions. Leicester City are champions of the Premier League. The greatest story ever told has its happy ending.
Leicester finished the season with 81 points, only 3 defeats and the fewest goals conceded. This wasn't just a title win, it was the greatest underdog story in football. A team of misfits, rejects, and they conquered a league full of billion-pound giants. Leicester City reminded us that in football, belief, unity, and resilience could triumph money, fame, and odds.